What's up guys, welcome to this tutorial on The Dark Knight. We're going to be in drop D tuning for this, so low D, A, D, G. Go ahead and take your E string and bring it down a whole step. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be referring to this string as either low D or drop D, so you don't get confused between that string and our normal D string. So we're not going to be looking at the whole arrangement that I did, or else this tutorial would probably be like about an hour and a half. We're going to be looking at the second half, which I think is probably the most interesting because it brings in the most recognizable theme from the Dark Knight trilogy. It goes a little something like this. Played a little bit quicker than it normally goes. So the great thing about Hans Zimmer arrangements is because the melodies are really simple but recognizable, it gives us a lot of flexibility on bass. It opens up a lot of possibilities in terms of what we want to do and how we want to play that melody and how we want to fill up the notes and make it interesting. As opposed to there being an extremely complex melody where we're trying just so hard to play the melody that the other stuff gets lost. Whilst when you have a theme like this, you're able to take it and you're able to make it interesting on the bass, and I think it works perfectly for solo bass arrangements. So let's go ahead and have a look at the arrangement that I did for YouTube, and I'm going to do a little voiceover and commentary and let you know what's happening and what we're going to be focusing on in this tutorial. Let's have a look. Okay, we start off with a picking pattern with the right hand that's going to repeat multiple times throughout the arrangement. This is the main theme played with harmonics on top of the picking pattern. Little percussive bit right there. It repeats again. You can see those harmonics are on the 7th fret, then the 5th fret. There's that percussion section for a little bit of variety. Okay, we move into the tapping section. The left hand tapping sort of rhythm repeats apart from this chord right here, which is actually, that's quite a simple little riff right there, which I'll show you guys how to do. There's that left hand doing that same pattern. And then we're going to end with a little sweep. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so let's start off with this section here. So the plucking pattern is a plucking pattern that we're going to be using in this arrangement. And it's just going to be alternating between thumb and first finger. But you can see my first finger is also alternating between the G strings and the D strings. But it's keeping that same pattern, okay? So we want first finger on the 10th fret on the G, ring finger on the 12th fret on the D, and we're going to be playing an open low D with that. And then the second chord is going to be middle finger on the 11th fret of your low D, and your ring finger is going to shift from the 12th fret to the 11th fret, but you're going to keep that first finger on the 10th fret. So. Okay, we're going to repeat that. And then we begin the melody, okay? So for the melody, let's go through this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chords. It's a 5-chord progression. So I'll do them all slowly so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see that my second finger is just remaining static. And I'm using that plucking pattern that I just showed you. Now, so it's going like this. And you can see I'm plucking the D string, the high D string. Now what we're just going to do is we're going to pluck the harmonics instead of that D string, and it's going to create that melody. Okay, so the harmonics are on the 7th fret of the D string and the G string. There we go. Okay, and that's the first chord shape. And there's is what we played at the start. Okay, and you notice that we've made it interesting because we're bringing harmonics in. So we have this different sound along with the low note as well. And we also have our minor third here, so that's filling up the sound. Okay, second chord. Third chord. And then there's the last chord. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to talk and play at the same time. So we have, let's look at our second chord. So we're gonna play that same 7th fret harmonic, but we're gonna now put our middle finger down on the 8th fret on our low D, and that creates that new chord. And then here's how we're gonna fill it. So I'm counting 5 there, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're gonna play our harmonic one more time. Okay, so the second chord, and the melody that we've just created is, okay? And here we go to our third chord. Okay, so that's our 5th fret harmonic, played with our pinky, and we're gonna have our middle finger on the 5th fret of your low D. And that's how we're gonna fill it up. Now, if you want to, you can fill the notes more, and that's what I did in my arrangement, though it's not absolutely necessary. You see, I'm just kind of barring I'm not barring, but I'm playing 3 notes on the 5th fret. But it doesn't make too much of a difference, and it's a little bit easier. So we're gonna play 3 of those kind of harmony notes now, those filler notes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again, let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is now our 4th chord. Let's mix it up a little bit for this. Oops. Because we've done that, right? And here, that same pattern. So we need a new rhythmic pattern. So what we're doing is we're plucking this this high 4th fret harmonic on the A string with our low D. So we're coming down with our thumb, we're not plucking it, we're just muting it. And now because it's muted, we can pluck with our, sorry, noise outside, we can pluck with our index finger. But then we come off it. So mute, pluck, mute, pluck, note, mute, pluck, note, mute, pluck, note, mute, pluck, note. And now look, this is ringing, right? Because we're not playing that string. So that's cool, right? Because it's creating we're getting that ringing sound in the background whilst we're also playing that cool rhythm and getting some kind of percussive sounds in there, all right? So we want to be getting that in there too. So we could go, as our final note, if you don't have a 22nd fret, so we have, do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's our last chord. Okay, so let's go through it again. Here's our plucking pattern. Getting ready for our first melody note. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of, I think on my arrangement I did. So you could bring that into it as well. What's important is you're playing a D minor chord right here, basically, aren't you? So, all the different ways that you can do that. Can always make it more interesting. So we can, this arrangement can be adapted in so many different ways. And I think that's what's so cool about it. Because it has that simplicity of the melody, there's so many different ways that you can play it. Okay, so that's our harmonic section. Again, I like going through things very slowly over and over again. That's how I learn solo bass arrangements. So I tend to do that in the tutorials. So I'm just gonna go through it one more time, very, very slowly, super slow, and then we'll go into the tapping section. It's a nice easy chord shift, isn't it? Harmonic, harmonic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, harmonic, harmonic, 3. So moving into the tapping section, let's say that we end on this chord actually. All right, so the pattern for your left hand is going to be looking like this. So we want to get in the habit of doing that. We want to practice that a little bit. Okay, so we're going to be playing these bass notes. What effectively is B flat and F, but because we're in drop D, it looks like it's C and F. And we're going to be coming with our middle finger and our index finger on our 19th frets on our G and D string. So that's the first chord. That's 15, and then that's 14. 15, 14. So again, how that looks. And I like that. It's a nice dynamic shift, isn't it? Because you're kind of quiet, or okay, now, next bit after that, after this, this C, so we're going to come and tap the 12th fret and the 17th fret. Let's do it all slowly. Shift, 12, 17. Okay, now this next chord looks complicated, and it's really so simple once you get the hang of it. So, pull off. So we're just alternating pluck, pull off, 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 pluck, pull off. Okay, 22, 21, 19, 17. Okay, so really simple. Also, this A string is ringing in the background. All right, so that gives us that fullness. Next chord, or use your middle finger for this. So we're on our 8th on the E low D string, our 10th on the G string, and we're on our 17th on the A string and 19th on the D string. I always try to practice this with my ring finger. It's a lot easier to play it with your middle finger, probably that's stronger, but trying to practice that ring finger will make it stronger. Okay, so after that, this is bringing kind of like that fortissimo. Let's get loud here. Okay, so I'm on the 8th fret of my low D, and then I'm on the 19th fret of my D and my G string. And that shift comes on the 21st fret, and I shift to my 10th fret of my low D. 24th fret, shift. Now if you don't have your 24th fret, you're going to play it there. So let's see how that looks. If you do have your 24th fret, so we're going to go for a sweep there. First, our final chord, or our penultimate chord actually. 10, harmonic, harmonic, and then back down. All right, so let's look at that tapping section again, very, very slowly. So we finished the harmonic section. Shift. Or then our sweep. There we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this arrangement, and I hope you guys liked the tutorial. Let me know how I could do these better, if you want me to go a little bit slower, if you want me to go a little bit faster. It's always a little bit tricky for me to know, am I going quick enough? Do I need to slow it down? Do I need to speed it up? So feedback is appreciated. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I really hope that you can take this, you can play it for your friends, you can play it for family. You can make it even more awesome and throw it up there on YouTube. Whatever you want to use it for, just your own practice, just your own development, just your own enjoyment, then that would make me super, super happy if you're able to use it for that. I've always just wanted to play solo bass arrangements and have it for me. That was where it always initiated from. And YouTube and sharing it with people is just something that came out of that. But I always just thought that the bass was capable of singing, and it's very cathartic and therapeutic for me when I'm playing these arrangements, and I hope that you find it really useful and really helpful as well. So thank you again so much for your support, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye.